Timeout podcast with CJ Perry, Tony Karanko, Tristen Howe, and your host, Wes Underwood.
It's that time again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Timeout podcast, brought to you by Jefferson's and Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin. If you're in the mood for some fresh Cajun, head on over to Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin across from Moe's on Main Street. And if you're in the mood for some wings, head to Jefferson's behind Books A Million on Rangeline. Wes Underwood with Tony and Tristen. And welcome in, guys. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good here. Going to baseball today, so I'm going to be going to the Royals. And congratulations to the newest member of the Hall of Fame, former Royal as well. I mean, we all say it. And former Kansas City and Buck O'Neil. So a lot going on right here on this side of my screen. It's awesome. I'm excited for him. So on that note, we'll go ahead and get things started. And we open up in the MLS once again. And we talk sporting in their most recent outing against LAFC. And we have Coach Peter Vermes here in the interview room, as well as mentions on the new acquisitions of midfielder Eric Tommy and forward William Agata.
Terrible loss of possession. How we lose the ball, I don't know. In those moments, too many guys were on the field that played young tonight. And I think that's the difference in the game. We actually played really well for so many parts of the game and so much of the game. But at the end, when you are naive and you give away the second goal the way we do, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you should be embarrassed of that. I am the coach. I'm not even on the field. It's just a bad way when you're trying to get back into the game. It's 1-0. You're right on the edge, and you give up that goal. It's a backbreaker. But
Eric Tommy seemed to be at the center of a lot of it. Just what did you think of him on his debut, and what brought him off there?
I thought he was actually excellent. I think the reason why is because first off, he's playing with his brain. He was a guy that was looking to be dangerous, penetrating runs. He didn't go backwards. He went forwards. He put them under pressure in those situations by his runs, by his passes, by having self-awareness and spatial awareness on the field to get into good locations where, there was a couple situations where we were coming out of the back and he wound up going to our left and we got the ball right to him. And their guys didn't know what to do. Do I go with him? Do I stay? What do I do? So his spatial awareness on the field was great. His attacking tendencies. It's something. If we had that guy if he would have played 90 minutes tonight, I like to think that the game's a little different. I also think that Zeus was very good in the first half. We couldn't push him any more than that half. Trying to get him back fit, but I think Tommy was. He has certain qualities that even. Gadi Kinda brings, where he's going forward, he's elusive, he gets in the attacking third and he's looking for things. I mean, just even him to get on the shot that he got onto that he missed, in the first half. It's a great spot for him to be in because that's where I'd like to see the two attacking midfielders in those spots.
And then William Agata, or Willie, made his debut. Your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, again, for somebody that has only been with us for 4 days in training. He has good tendencies. I've seen him on film. I know what he has. I think he's going to be somebody that gives us a little something different on the field. He's just got to get a little more time with us. And the other thing is, too, is it's harder when you're trying to chase a game than when you're kind of in control of the game. And, he came into a difficult moment, but he did some good stuff. He sees the game, strong. I know he has fight in him. I know he does. And he can score for sure. So. And the other thing I liked about him is that he wants to go press the game when it's time, and he's got that mentality in him. So it'll become very useful for us.
I mean, I agree with Coach there, and Tony, what are your thoughts here? I believe you're muted. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Very good things. Very, very honest, I would say, which is what you need. But again, very young. and touches on that a little bit in the interview. And I think ultimately, I don't think this is the year for them, but I do think it's a year where they can build up and pick up some assets for next year.
Yeah, Tommy and Agata are a good start. Those guys were fun to watch. Tommy, once he gets his practice in, he's going to be good, just like Coach said. And Tristen, big game for Sporting tomorrow. What are your thoughts for him? Think they can pull it out?
I think it's a little too early to tell. Like Coach was saying, he's Agata, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Has only been with the team for about 4 days. So to put the chemistry together like that that soon is, it's going to be tough. But I think they've got a good chance of probably pulling one out. Maybe, I don't know.
We shall see. We shall see. And next up, we talk MLB, and the trade deadline is approaching. We will talk more next week on the final outcome of this trade deadline, but this week, we're going to talk home run derby champ Juan Soto. And I mean, the guy pulled it out, so congrats to him. But the real question is, will he land a deal with a new team? I mean, the rumor of the Cardinals and the Yankees, I mean, the Cardinals already have Goldie and Arenado, Pujols, and then the young guys. And then in New York, I mean, they have Judge, they have Stanton, they have Rizzo, they have Donaldson, they have LeMahieu, and, well, everybody capable of hitting home runs over the last 5 to 6 years. I mean, you can't deny that, Tristen. But this being said, who do you guys have him going to? And Tristen, we will start you. Do you see him going to the Yankees, or do you see a more intriguing deal with the Cardinals since they have less power?
I think the Cardinals, and coming from a Yankees fan, that's going to be hard for me to swallow. But like you were saying, we've got Rizzo, Stanton, Judge, and Donaldson and LeMahieu, so we've got the power in the lineup.
Joey got
him too. And but basically, what I'm trying to say is that adding Juan Soto is going to make it better. But do we really need him? Probably not, because we've already got all the power we need already in our lineup. So that's why I say the Cardinals. The Cardinals really need to try and pick him up to really put some hitting depth in the lineup, and especially with Pujols retiring after the season.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna lose some power in the lineup. So adding Juan Soto would be a smart decision on their part.
Tony, agree, disagree?
I would actually kind of agree with Tristen here a little bit. There's not a lot of times that I do agree with him. But yeah, like Tristen said, they already have a lot of power hitters on their team. I think it just makes more sense for Soto to go to the Cardinals. But
yeah,
maybe want another one, and who knows? We'll see.
We will see. And continuing in the MLB, and on the topic of the deadline, it was announced late Sunday evening that the MLB would counter with the final international draft offer, which included the league increased amount of money that would be guaranteed to the top 600 international players by $10 million, going from 181 to 191 million. Sources said, by the way, on that. So, but the two sides remained very far apart, and, well, the prospect of a deal seemed very unlikely. Do you guys think this will be good or bad for the MLB PA since they didn't pass it? Tristen, will begin with you. Tony, next up.
I think it could be really good for the MLB PA, considering that they just came out of a lockout at the beginning of the season to get the players more money. And so for them to try and get the international players some more money, I mean, I think it just evens itself out at the end of the day.
They didn't pass it. The PA was actually against it. But I think they want more money, yes.
Yeah, if they were to pass it, I think it would be only fair considering that, they already fought for all of the other guys at the beginning of the season. So, international players, I mean, I honestly believe there's a lot more talent overseas than there is in the United States when it comes to baseball. Baseball and soccer are the two best international sports, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, to pay them more, I feel like would be the smart and only fair way to do it.
True. Tony?
And maybe the PA denied it because they want more money.
Yeah.
I think it's a good start to at least offer more.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So I see it as a positive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm with you right there. I believe that they want to get them more money, and they were not happy about the offer, just like they were at the beginning of the season with all the things that happened. So we'll see how it goes. MLBPA will get things done, and I think they'll take care of it. And I know where you were going there, Tristan. I just had to give you a little bit of a rough time. But anyway, now we head over to the NFL, and we're going to talk Raiders and Devontae Adams. And he was laughing for that case on Sunday as he clarified his recent comments that created some stir when he compared Aaron Rodgers, his former quarterback with the Green Bay Packers, obviously, to Derek Carr, his new quarterback with the Las Vegas Raiders. And here's what he had to say on that. I mean, anytime you change quarterbacks from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. And that's what he told CBS Sports on Friday. Now, first off, do you guys agree with this comparison? And second, does Carr make it to his second playoff game this year with Adams? Tony, we'll go ahead and start you. This is your forte here.
So I actually didn't catch what he said. What was it that he said?
He said, anytime you change quarterbacks from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, so basically comparing them both to Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks.
Sure.
Yeah.
He says just different to adjust, difficult to adjust.
A little bit of an adjustment,
Well,
correct.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair statement to say. I think he tried to keep it as least as controversial as possible without hurting anybody's feelings. And
Yeah.
I think it's probably the smartest way to say it. To say that Derek Carr is a Hall of Famer, is being a little generous. I think, does he have the potential to do so?
Absolutely.
Maybe not quite yet. I think he's in the process, but I think somebody like Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, like the duo itself, they're very good for each other. Definitely good for the Raiders organization.
Yeah. Good move. And, I mean, they're going in the right direction after everything that happened last year. Even with that playoff loss, and getting into the playoffs at the end of the season with that game that they played against the Chargers. So we'll see. Tristan, agree here? Disagree?
I actually disagree with Tony on this one.
Okay.
Now, I do think that they will make their second playoff game with Devontae Adams at wideout there, but
Okay.
to compare Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr together is 50-50 in my opinion. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer because he has record on record. He's got NFL records, whatever.
Yeah.
But Derek Carr virtually has every single record in Raiders franchise history. So
not hard to do.
Not hard to do. You're right, but the fact that he's done it, I think by the end of his career, I think he will be a Hall of Famer, but not to the caliber that Aaron Rodgers will be a Hall of Famer is what I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. I get where you're coming from. And on that,
I don't think he.
Yeah.
I was just going to not doesn't have the potential to be a Hall of Famer. I just don't think he's accomplished fame accolades yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit to prove. And he's young enough, so we'll see. Next, we head into the XFL and we talk on the issue of its expansion as 3 newcomers in Las Vegas, Orlando, and San Antonio will join Arlington, Texas, Houston, St. Louis, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. The league dropped New York, Los Angeles, and Tampa Bay from its lineup. And those markets had the 3 lowest average attendance figures during the 2020 season. I mean, I can see why with everything that happened during 2020 and when the XFL last played. So, do you think it's a good idea? And will it be good for these cities? Tony, your thought?
Yeah, I mean, think I think more football is better than football. I wish that football was year round, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it gives an opportunity for players that you know, as a second chance league or as a more of like a developmental league.
Yeah.
Other players that athletes out there that don't get that probably should have, and you know, not not everything goes your way. They're out there playing the game and still have the opportunity to make it to the big leagues is good, just like how they do it in baseball
Indeed.
and basketball. I think it's good for the game of football overall.
And we apologize for the technical difficulties here. Just some audio issues and visual issues, so it's all right. No big deal. No big deal. We'll keep rolling. Tristen, your thoughts?
Out of all these cities, I think it's going to be the best for St. Louis. I mean, we haven't had a football team in St. Louis since the Rams.
Yeah,
and
I hoped you were going to touch on that. I agree.
Yeah, and I think it'll be good for St. Louis and the state of Missouri as a whole.
Yeah.
Considering that there's probably not going to be another NFL team in St. Louis for the time for a while. So for the XFL to pick up the city of St. Louis, I think that's going to do wonders for the league.
Yeah.
And these other cities, Los Angeles and Tampa Bay and New York, for instance, I feel like there's just too much money going into the NFL with those cities.
Yeah.
And I mean, overall, that's just going to take away from the XFL. So for them to drop them cities, I don't think it's much of a loss. But the big gain is the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, I agree. St. Louis will be a pretty big, and they've been waiting for a football team to get back there. So we'll see how it goes. I think that's a good addition there. I really do. And lastly, we head to the WWE, and we talk the retirement of Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon. Now, this isn't the first time that this has happened in his career, and I gave you a little bit of flack about this, Tristen, at the beginning, but he made it seem legit in parting ways in his comments that he made. But not to mention last Friday, McMahon's son-in-law, you all may know him as Stephanie McMahon's husband, Paul Triple H, was returning to the company as head of talent relations, though it was immediately unclear if that was related to McMahon retiring. But do you guys see this as bad or good? Tristen, we'll go you and then Tony.
I think it's good for the brand of WWE in general. Ever since post 2010, the WWE has been very, very bad when it comes to ratings and just overall, I guess the believability to the brand in general. And a lot of that blame gets put on Vince McMahon. So for Triple H and Stephanie for Triple H and Stephanie to go back and completely take it over.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's good. And WWE is actually going back to TV 14, so there's going to be a lot more.
I saw that. It's going to be
censorship.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot. Yeah. It's we haven't had censorship since like 2009, so it's going to be.
Tony, your thoughts here?
Sorry.
Oh, I get it. That's your thoughts, right?
Like Tristan said, sorry. I was gonna say I think the fact that the WWE is getting a facelift will be very good for it. I don't like watching it because again I think it's fake and whatnot. And little bit too dramatic.
Yeah.
But a bit of a, a little bit of a facelift, a little bit. I don't see that being wrong with it at all.
Yeah. Do you smell that? It's what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he comes back full throttle, and I would like to see more Stone Cold in this era because we all know that they were rated R. So, but
Well, Stone Cold is just old, and The Rock is making too much money in the movies.
hey, his fight between Kevin Hart was pretty funny with the tortilla slap. Y'all should go check that out. On that note, we're going to finish with the 2-minute warning brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria here in Webb City. And if you're looking for some good pizza, go check them out. I mean, again, I can't say this more than enough. Their all meat pizza is just phenomenal. I love it. And on top of that, I mean, just everything they've got there in general. I haven't really been disappointed yet. But yeah, I mean, that's my opinion though. So, but anyway, in the 2-minute warning, we have Outlaws baseball, but the local sports update is Webb City 12U baseball, and they're heading to Indy after winning the Missouri State title. So stay tuned to our page this week as we sit down with one of the players, and we'll talk with them. And I will also be sitting down with local fighter TJ Britton this week to talk about his upcoming fight as well. Tony, you got anything?
I mean, there's going to be some fights in September at Buffalo Run. September 14th, I believe, is the date. Your local fighters that have been on the last few cards are going to fight. Let's see who gets, who knocks out who this next time around.
And with that, we will finish out with the 2-minute warning brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria here in Webb City. And going to give them again. And we completely messed up with Trackside Burgers, so check them out as well. They are the sponsors of our local sports update. That was my fault from jumping ahead. But yeah, check them out today. And in our 2-minute warning, we have Outlaws Baseball yet again. Just said that. Again, my mistake. As they will host a playoff game tomorrow night at Joe Becker. Game is set for 7 p.m. And they are asking for fans to come loud and proud as they go for the Mink League title. And if they win, they will play again at home Thursday. So, yeah, they're asking everyone to pack out the Joe. And, of course, all these games and events are pending to weather and the current and fluid COVID-19 situation. And, well, tune into each team's social media pages for those times and updates. And what's that? What's that? John Cena in the background again? That's what we started the show with. And you can't see us. But yeah, anyway, music's here, so it's the end of another episode for Tony, Tristen, CJ, and myself. Have a great and safe rest of your week, and we hope you guys enjoy your weekend and enjoy some sports. Lots of action this weekend and week upcoming, so hope you can make it to an event. Stay cool and have fun. Indeed.
Yeah.
Bring that continually. And